You've heard of the Black Dahlia, but the horror didn't start with Elizabeth Short. Long before 1947, another woman died under highly suspicious circumstances, a woman directly connected to the man many believe was the Black Dahlia killer. When you line up the evidence, it's almost impossible to understand how this man walked free. This investigative series uncovers the dark history of Dr. George Hill Hodel, a powerful Los Angeles surgeon whose name surfaces in California's darkest cases. We begin with the woman whose death should have stopped him. Ruth Frances Spaulding, his secretary, lover, and the whistleblower, whose voice was erased before she could expose the truth. Everything you're about to see is based on historical documents and verified investigations. Only the facts. Let's go back to 1945. Ruth Frances Spaulding was a 32-year-old secretary at a busy Los Angeles venereal disease clinic. Quiet, sharp, and highly organized, she worked for Dr. George Hill Hodel, a wealthy, charismatic physician known for brilliance and arrogance. But Ruth wasn't just his employee, she was his lover. This intimate relationship, confirmed by LAPD assessments, gave Ruth access to his files, his financial records, his secrets, the notes she shouldn't have kept. According to several accounts, Ruth had begun keeping detailed notes on fraudulent billing, illegal prescriptions, insurance violations, unapproved medical procedures, and patient files altered for profit. Ruth was documenting everything. And she wasn't hiding it well. Her notes were detailed, dangerous, and potentially career-ending. For the right person, they could have meant prison. And George Hodel knew she had them. The night of her death on May 9, 1945, Ruth was found dead in her apartment. The official cause, suicide by barbiturate poisoning. But George Hodel was reportedly at the scene before authorities, immediately insisting it was a suicide. As a respected physician, he discouraged an investigation and told responders no autopsy was needed. The case was closed in minutes. Then came the most alarming detail. Ruth was cremated within 72 hours of her death. In the 1940s, cremation was rare and stigmatized, making this highly unusual. So why the rush? Because cremation destroys evidence. When LAPD later reviewed her case, they marked it as a possible homicide, naming George Hill Hodel as the suspect. But by then, her body was gone. Her truth was gone. On January 15, 1947, Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia, was found mutilated, her body surgically bisected. The killer had surgical training, a skill George Hodel possessed. Surrounded by suspicious death and with the knowledge to destroy evidence, no one made the connection in time. But that's only one part of this story. Our investigation. Public records update. Before we close this episode, I want to share something important. I have already submitted requests for public records regarding Ruth's cremation, including who signed the cremation authorization, who approved it, who paid for it, and why it was processed so quickly, because none of it adds up. Not for the era, not for the circumstances, not for a death connected to a man like George Hodel. As soon as those documents arrive, I will update you. This is only part 1. In part 2, we'll cover the lone woman murders, violent killings the LAPD linked to a single serial offender whose movements match George Hodel's life almost perfectly. Like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode releasing tomorrow. This series is for entertainment and based on historical records. This is KC. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in part 2.